Okay, everyone, it's Mother's Day, and we're going to do a Mother's Day celebration. I got my mother-in-law. My mom isn't around anymore, and frankly, she didn't really drink wine very well, so I wouldn't have done this with her anyway. But we're doing a rosé episode. You know, hell has frozen over when I'm doing a rosé episode. It's Mother's Day. My mother-in-law has red hair. Our wine has red hair. Everything's matching up. This is Wine by the Bay TV. Let's treat your mom well. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, thank you, George.
Okay, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Wine by the Bay TV. I'm your host, George Bachara. I've got the Wine by the Bay TV new logo hat on. I've got my mother-in-law, Roxanne Pardee, with me, and we're talking about Mother's Day. Mother's Day means brunch. Mother's Day means champagne. And Mother's Day means mimosas a lot of times, and I have a mimosa episode that I'm going to link up here. Me and Camila did some variations on mimosas, so please check that out as well. But we're going to talk rosé with Roxanne Pardee, my mother-in-law. Roxanne, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
So what are you up to these days? I understand you're going on a trip sometime after Mother's Day.
Yes, I'm touring with a ladies group called Tapestry, and we're touring around Ireland, and then a small group of us are going to Edinburgh, Scotland for the last 5 days after the tour is over.
It's funny because I don't seem to remember an invite in my email box. That seems weird. I feel like maybe I should be included since I brought 3 wines for you to taste.
Yeah, we must have missed that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in the mail, right? Just like my check's in the mail.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to use the big wine glasses. This is the only way I can possibly ever drink rosé or any kind of white wine from the Big Wine Glass Company. They are not a sponsor, but they are friends. So I just wanted to point out, I'll leave a link in the description box below. That's these big wine glasses
Wow,
right here.
they are big.
Yeah, they make me feel good when I drink these crappy wines that I don't want to drink. Actually, I don't know if they're crappy or not, to be honest with you. I'm just not a big rosé person. So we've got two rosés from France, one rosé from California, and we're going to dive deep into them. So do you know anything about how you make rosé as opposed to white or red?
I have no clue.
Okay, so it's about skin contact. So white wines can be made from either red grapes or white grapes, but if they're made from red grapes, then the skin is not allowed to make contact with the juice, so it keeps the juice white.
Oh, okay.
So when you do rosé, you're using a red grape, but you're allowing anywhere between a couple hours to a couple of days of skin contact
to make that
to
color.
make that pinkish color, exactly. So the darker the rosé, either it's darker fruit, like say a Zinfandel, or they leave it longer with skin contact.
So if it's darker, does it mean it's more fruity flavored? Or
Not necessarily. It's just for color.
Just for color.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we'll do the. What do you think? Let's do. Well, we've got this Costco wine first.
Okay.
I bought this because it's $10, $9.99 at Costco. And the reason that I bought it is because we've got a couple of different price points. This one is $36, this one was $30, and this one is $9. So I don't want to exclude anybody from a price perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I'm treating their mother or their mother-in-law to something a little bit interesting. So I thought we'd do different price points and see what's up. And this Costco wine is obviously available wherever there's a Costco. So that makes things a little bit easier. All right.
Does Costco let you know the area that it's?
Well, it says Provence, but it doesn't tell you the producer.
Oh, okay.
So this is from Provence. I dug in a little bit with this wine, but I really didn't see like what the blend is. I'm assuming it's either Mourvedre or Grenache, because those are predominant grapes in Provence and south of France. But I don't know. I will do a little bit more digging off camera, and if I can give you some more information on that, I absolutely will. There'll be some maps of where Provence is in relation to France in the video that'll cut in from now and again. And then of course we'll cut in pictures of all these wines as well. So the first one we're going to taste is this Costco Côte de Provence. Côte meaning hills. So we know it's not like right on the sea. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit further inland where there's some hills and valleys and whatnot. So this is coming from the hills. 2021 vintage rosé, AOC appellation. Okay, so AOC meaning that it's an appellation designated in France. So we'll give this a shot. Let's see what we're going to do here. So first, we obviously want to swirl the wine. Let me give you a chance to see the color.
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's a lightish pink, huh? Like a salmon color.
Mm-hmm.
We opened these wines just a few minutes ago because honestly, you want to drink your rosé mostly fresh. I mean, maybe 15 or 20 minutes of air is a good idea, and probably 5 or 10 minutes out of the refrigerator. You want it cold, but not ice cold. Like you still want to taste it. Dig in there. What are you smelling?
Fruit.
Okay, what kind of fruit?
I thought.
Fruit,
Okay,
huh? Wow,
okay,
what a concept.
Okay, Mr. Som. Just because not all of us are Soms.
Okay.
I thought I smelled pear, but I don't know.
Tell me what you smell. It doesn't matter what I think, it matters what you think.
Um,
Whoever is drinking what,
mhm.
it doesn't matter what the tasting notes say. There's two things that count. Do you like it, and what do you taste? I mean, unless you're telling me you taste chocolate on a white wine, that's a little weird.
Yeah. I think I'm smelling pear and maybe some strawberry.
I'm definitely getting strawberry.
Oh, so I was right about something? Really? No compliment there? Okay.
No.
All right. Mother's Day.
I have a good mother-in-law, but you can't let them get too full of themselves because then they don't treat you very well, frankly. Okay, so.
Okay. So now do we taste? Or,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure. I'm getting a little cream too now that it's starting to open a little bit.
All right. So tell me what a good rosé should taste like, because I have really no clue.
Something that appeals to you, something that isn't too bitey, something that isn't so high in acid that it rips your face off.
Okay.
And typically, you know, that strawberry, maybe a light plum, cherry, but like a white cherry or a very tart, like an underripe cherry, something not something that's like a dark Bing cherry, not overly ripe fruits, more fresh fruit. If you're tasting a little apple or pear, that wouldn't necessarily be wrong. Again, nothing is really wrong, guys. I mean, you know, you taste what you taste. But to me, maybe a little raspberry. I'm not getting any actually, to be honest with you, I'm not getting very much of anything, really. Just a little bit of a like tart strawberry.
It's tart. I feel it on the front of the tongue.
Not green strawberry, but just like a whitish red, like not a dark red strawberry.
Not quite ripe yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like getting to ripe, maybe 2 days on the countertop, more before it's ready, kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty unimpressive as far as I'm concerned. I would give this wine, I don't know, 88 points, maybe.
Yeah. And then what?
Nothing wrong with it.
No, it's
just
fine.
nothing right with it.
Yeah. So, what typically does one eat with rosé? I mean, I'm thinking hot summer day.
I mean, you can do shellfish, you could do cheese, you could do fresh fruit. You don't want to get too heavy on the cheese, like too fatty a cheese. You want something that's a little bit brighter because you don't have the tannins to cut through the fat, so you want to stay on the lighter side of the cheese.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, but you want to stay lighter fare. You could do like a light sandwich, maybe. I mean, light bread, light stuff. You don't want to go too heavy. I mean, you definitely wouldn't want to do any meat, per se. You could do a crudo, possibly with a better. No, don't do that.
Oh, sorry.
Because that'll make everything taste watery.
Oh,
guys, that's a common misconception. I'm actually glad you did that. Don't apologize. So when you rinse your glass with water, what happens is you then water down the next wine you're going to drink.
Oh,
okay, so what you want to do is you want to rinse the glass with the next wine you're going to drink.
Okay.
So you take a little bit of wine and you do your little rinse thing, right?
Okay.
Just like a half ounce, and flavor the glass, season the glass with the next wine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or replace the wine glass, but we're not going to do that. That's a little bit extreme.
That's a little darker.
Yes, this is definitely darker. So this I got from Vinous Reverie. This is the Bandol, again from, I can't read. Mine de Bouteille Domaine. Okay, that's bottled in the domain. That's fine. So again, this is from Provence, south of France, but this AOC is closer to the ocean. So notice it didn't say Côte anywhere, right?
No Côte.
So it's not a hillside type of area.
Damper climate, more fog.
No, as you're closer to the ocean, the climate moderates because the ocean kind of keeps the temperature more regulated both day and night. Although honestly, the hillside in southern France is not like super like crazy in terms of like diurnal shift, day and night shift. You're not getting a whole lot of fog and all that kind of stuff. So I think you're okay. The soil is more clay. The soil retains water better as you get away from the hills. because the more you go up the mountains, the more altitude you have, the less chance there is of like soil settling and more rocks.
Oh, okay.
So rocky as you're in the hills, and more like clay and like impacted soils when you're in the valley. Exactly. Okay, so this one is $36. I'm sorry, yeah, no, $30. Excuse me, at Vinous Reverie, and I've seen it on other places as well. 2022 vintage.
I mean, do you lay down rosés?
You can age rosés a few years. Like this rosé, I would not age at all. Just looking at the color of it, I can see that it's very light. I know that it's a $9, $10 wine. I mean, chances are it doesn't have. It's not only what's the point. It probably doesn't have the complexity. And now that we tasted it, I know it doesn't have the complexity to last. You know, like this wine, you know, a French wine, I might give 3 or 4 years. But you still want to drink, you know, rosé on the fresh side. As it gets older, you'll get more apricot and more concentrated, like more candy, like not candy, but like a dried fruit flavor. Typically with white wines, they kind of dry up the fruit. So like it's a difference between buying a pear and, you know, how they used to have like dried fruit.
Yes.
At your grandparents' house, that kind of thing.
Wow, this is very different than the last one.
A lot more intense.
Yeah.
Color, as you can see.
So that means those red skins
stayed on a little bit longer. Yeah, exactly. Or they used a darker grape. Now this one is Mourvedre, Grenache, and Cinsault. Those are all red grapes. Much more in the glass. Let's give this a little trick here.
What's the trick?
If you're having trouble smelling, like if you're not getting smells, you put the palm over the top, and it locks in the flavors, and then you get a lot more on it. Like I'm getting a lot more intense. Like I'm getting some raspberry and a little bit of strawberry in here.
I've never.
No cream this time.
Okay. Yeah, I smell a little bit of raspberry. I don't know about the strawberry.
A lot more flavor on this wine.
A lot more flavor and creamier.
I'm definitely getting more of a ripe strawberry, a little bit of cream on the palate. Not a whole lot, just like a little undertone kind of rolling through.
Not as acidic.
No, definitely not as acidic, but there's layers of flavor, whereas the Costco one was drinkable, but it was, I mean, you forgot it 2 seconds after you swallowed it. Whereas with this wine, I'm talking right now, and I'm actually continuing to taste it. Like there's a somewhat lingering finish.
Yeah, and I'm getting on the sides of the tongue. But it has a nice finish. It's bright, but it's not acidic.
Yeah, I mean, I think no offense, I think you're misusing the word bright to me. I think it's more, the flavors are more pronounced, but it's not like bright. When I think of bright, like a sharp lime is bright, right? A sharp lemon is bright, but a Meyer lemon is pronounced, but not like bright.
So I'm using the wrong adjective. Is that what you're saying?
That's a strong word. What's adjective mean? I don't really know. Leave a comment in the comment section and someone please define adjective for me. 14% ABV. Okay, so let me say something about alcohol by volume, especially in white wines. Alcohol by volume is the amount of fermented wine that's in the bottle. So when you get lower alcohol by volume, like they see a lot in Germany in sweet wines, you'll see single-digit alcohol. Anything below 10% is off dry, and then anything in this like 7 or 8% can be starting to get pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so this being 14% tells you this is a dry rosé.
Right.
Okay, it's not going to be like a sweeter type of rosé. So when you're buying rosé, if you're rosé fans, if you look at the ABV and you're looking at 12%, 11%, something like that, there's a good chance that there's going to be more sweetness, more fruit than you might be expecting. And that's probably because they haven't gone through full fermentation. They let some sugar stay in that wine.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I like this. And I'm not a big rosé
Yeah, I do not. I mean, again,
you're anti-rosé, though.
I'm anti-rosé. This one at least tastes like there's wine in there and not like, flavored water. So this one I would say is 89 plus, maybe 90 minus points in my opinion. Nothing great. Would I spend $30 on it? I would absolutely not. But if someone had requested, you wouldn't either. You like something a little bit more heavy though, right? Yeah. You're more into that white zip kind of thing. None of these rosés, in my opinion so far, are worth buying when there's so many other whites, especially at that $20, $25, $30 mark, that are going to blow that out of the water. So I don't know that I would purchase this one either. Now, if you're a rosé person who would taste something, there's nothing wrong with it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, George breaking in here. I wanted to take a moment and break into this episode because I was kind of too busy yakking around with my mother-in-law Roxanne to really taste those wines. And I've been thinking about the wine after the fact, and I really missed some of the white melon, the honeydew kind of flavor profile. And we were talking about pairing the wines. I was thinking prosciutto, Reggiano Parmigiano, Speck would go really, really great with these wines, in addition to, like, you know, shellfish and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to break in. I'm sorry to interrupt the episode, but I really felt like I was too busy talking and really not paying attention to the wine. So I just wanted to, upon further reflection, kind of go into those specific flavors, a little bit more about the pairing. So back to the episode. Okay, so now we're going to California. We've got the Mathew Bruno Rosé 2022. Remember, do a little rinse for that. Give it a lot of this. Roll it around. Okay, and then dump it in there. So you re-season the glass. By the way, if you're liking this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon. Leave a comment. Spread this around to your friends that have mothers. I mean, everybody has a mother at some point. Whether they're alive or not is another issue. I joke because, you know, I mean, my mom's been dead quite a while, so I kind of good with it.
God bless her.
It is what it is. Yeah, God bless her soul. Many people have said that. So this is the Mathew Bruno 2022 Rosé from Dry Creek Valley. Full disclosure, I actually work for Mathew Bruno now in their tasting room down in Rutherford. This wine I've tasted several times. That's why I picked it. $36 from the winery and online. The alcohol by volume is 13%, so right away that tells you it's going to be a little bit more fruit forward than either one of the other two wines that we drank. This wine is made from Grenache, a little bit of Petit Syrah, and a little bit of Primitivo in there. I don't know the exact percentages, but Primitivo is a clone of the Zinfandel grape.
Right.
Okay, so Grenache is kind of getting popular in the Dry Creek Valley area because it's the breezes. It's a slightly warmer climate than like Carneros or something like that, even though it's close to the Pacific Ocean. So it's kind of, this is the only blended wine in their group, by the way. So if you want to know more about Mathew Bruno and his wine lineup, I'll leave a link in the description box below, and you can go ahead and check that out. Again, they're not sponsoring this in any way. I paid for this.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure. 2022 vintage. Okay, so.
Now, is this on the vineyard that's right there by the tasting room?
No, we source they source all the grapes.
Okay.
So we don't have anything that's producing that's our proprietary vineyard.
Now, have they always produced a rosé, or is this new?
This is relatively new.
Okay. I'm getting apple, but I don't know if that's right.
I don't get any apple in there. I don't get much apple, but that doesn't mean you're not getting it. It just means that I'm not getting it.
So I mean, it is.
I'm getting strawberry.
Yeah, I'm getting strawberry.
Yeah.
But it is a true fact that some people have better sensory. I mean, have better noses.
Yeah, that's true. Like I mean, not everybody can be a master sommelier. You know, that can blind taste stuff and tell you the year, the region, the grade.
Do they really?
I mean, yeah, exactly. Sometimes they can tell you the producer on certain things. When you're drinking wine for work, or if you're really interested in like diving deep, you know, you can get like aromas boards and stuff like that, but you can buy the fruit. Like when you go to the store and you see a pear, you can smell, like you go ahead and smell it and take note.
You're training your
you're kind of thinking about it, like as you're doing certain things, as you're eating certain things. It's just different.
Oh, I like this the best, and it's not because you work there. I really like
the flavor is more intense.
More intense.
Definitely getting some raspberry.
Mm-hmm. More complex for a rosé.
Yeah. Strawberry, a little bit.
And it's involving, for me anyway, it's involving everything, front, back, sides. It's not acidic.
No, but it's fresh. There's an undertone of acid, but it's not acidic.
It's fresh.
Mm-hmm. Guys, acid in wine is not bad. If there isn't enough acid, the wine tastes flabby,
right,
or overly sweet. So don't take acid as a bad thing. When it's too acidic, that's another issue. Like if it tastes like vinegar, obviously it's bad. So acid isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, my mouth is watering.
Yeah, mine too.
Mm-hmm. This is the first one where my mouth is
Me
actually
too.
producing a lot of saliva.
Yep.
I'm still tasting the wine. Mathew Bruno, typically when I tasted before I started working there, all the wines have a really long finish, and this one does the same. Like I'm still tasting it as I'm talking to you, which was true of the Bandol also, but it was a little bit it was a little bit less intense. This is the most intense of the three in terms of like pronunciation of flavors. I really taste everything.
This is good.
Yeah, because I don't see like any real pronunciation of legs. I mean, there's some tearing.
Yeah.
Tearing legs, kind of the same thing. That's the color right there, guys.
It's a really pretty color.
Yeah, definitely more of the pinkish hue. This was more of an orange, orange pink.
Yeah. This is more of a salmon, I think, more of a salmon color. But this is really good. See that,
guys. And this one is definitely the lightest and most clear of the three, although none of them are really opaque. Obviously, they're rosé.
As you taste wine, regardless of whether it's rosé or azin or whatever it is, does that in fact intensify your sense of smell?
No, it can actually, as you continue to drink wine, your palate can get tired.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe if you haven't drank wine at all, the first one might be a little flat, and then as you go, like for the next 5 or 10 minutes, it might wake up your palate and that kind of thing. Which is why a lot of times you'll drink like a sparkling wine or a very light white wine to kind of wake up your palate,
and then
go
heavier.
darker, go heavier.
And then what's your whole feeling? And I don't know because I haven't visited where you work yet. About the whole pairing thing, about a certain cheese paired with a certain type of wine or whatever. Does that enhance it?
Yes. I mean, if you're evaluating the wine on its own, you're better off not to pair it with food. Because if you're just tasting a wine to give it a score,
right,
then you're assuming that nothing is being eaten with it.
Oh, okay, I see.
But if you're eating it, if you're drinking wine to enjoy it, food, if you pair it properly, can enhance the things that you want and kind of de-emphasize the things that you don't want. You know, that's why steak and red wine pair well, because the tannins cut through the fattiness of the steak. So that's like they complement each other. Spicy and sour, like spicy and acidic will like explode in your mouth. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Like it'll over spice, like something that's spicy and then something acid, the spice will go like through the roof. It'll just murder you.
Okay, I see.
You know, that's antagonistic as opposed to complementary.
Yeah.
See, I did some SAT.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Now you're showing your brilliance. That's good.
I'm anti-rosé, so I would go with professional scores on this one. I don't know what the professional score is off the top of my head. I will do a little research if there is one. I feel like there is one, but I am a bad employee and I don't remember it because I'm not at work right now. But
I bet it's at least a 90.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Like if you're
least.
Drinking rosé, this is a 90.
This is a good rosé.
If I had to put my I don't care about rosé hat on, 91 plus points.
Yeah.
Maybe 92.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I so much hate rosé. The look makes me feel like less than a man. The flavor profile is, less than appealing to me, and that's just kind of the way it is. So this is the rosé episode, guys. Take your mom out to Mother's Day, order a bottle of rosé, cook for your mom if you're a cook, or do a barbecue or whatever, depending on where you live, what the weather is like. Eat something light. You can do this as a first course rather than champagne or something sparkling. This goes really well. Also, because it's a still wine, it won't go to your head quite as easily as the bubbles will. Yeah. So maybe you can get a couple more hours. Or if you want to try and knock them out early, then go ahead with the sparkling wine. So that's Roxanne. I'm George. Wine by the Bay TV. Watch the next episode, and we'll see you again next time.